Even the richest stars in Hollywood can go bankrupt. For almost a quarter of a century, Johnny Depp has starred in successful movies that have earned him a total of $650 million. But along with this, Johnny has made many mistakes that led him to total bankruptcy. He lost all of his money and was in deep debt. Johnny's bankruptcy did not come by accident, but became a natural consequence of his attitude towards his money. Let's see what kind of mistakes Johnny made in order to turn from a millionaire to bankrupt. In this video, we will try to draw useful lessons from his sad story. Point number 1. So, the first reason for bankruptcy is uncontrolled expenses. As soon as Johnny started earning a lot, he started spending a lot. A successful business involves not only costs, but also investments made wisely. Let's see how Johnny disposed of his earnings. Undoubtedly, he is a true connoisseur of expensive real estate. It is real estate that ranks first on Depp's list of mega expenses. Among the most significant purchases is a castle in southern France with an area of 1.5 hectares, 13 other residences, 5 of which are houses on the famous Hollywood Hills. The entire property is worth $75 million. But this is not the limit, because Johnny is the proud owner of a personal island in the Bahamas, and its worth is $5 million. We add to this list the monthly cost of maintaining homes, staff salaries, and taxes. It turns out to be an impressive amount. At the time of bankruptcy, Johnny would have been greatly helped by the sale of the residence, but his beloved daughter persuaded her dad not to sell her childhood home. Let's move on to the second point of significant expenses. Here, Johnny reveals to us his love for different modes of transport. A yacht worth $18 million, sports cars, a private jet, and monthly maintenance costs. The next point is the expensive love of paintings. If you put together the paintings Depp acquired, you can fill 12 vaults. How much it would add up in monetary terms, we can only guess. For example, the cost of a painting Depp gave to his ex-wife Amber is worth $1.5 million. At one time, his mother received the same gift. Gifts are paid as a separate item on Johnny's monthly checks. He loves to spend money on friends, relatives, and just acquaintances. When one of his idols, journalist Hunter Thompson, died, Johnny took responsibility for doing the last will of the deceased and scattered his ashes over Aspen from a cannon. This ceremony cost him $3 million. Could it have been more modest? Very possible. But our hero is the owner of a generous nature and is not used to limiting himself. Rounding out the list of Johnny's top expenses are years of litigation. A monthly check of $300,000 for wine and other expenses. For example, Depp had to pay a pretty penny to a fan who was beaten up by his security guards during a rock concert. The fan thought Johnny could have stopped it from the stage, but he didn't want to. In general, Johnny Depp can easily be called almost the biggest spender in Hollywood. He always parted with money easily, never delved into his finances, and did not plan his expenses. He lived for today without thinking about the future. Point number 2. Moving on to the second significant reason for Johnny's bankruptcy. This is the wrong choice of partners and the inability to understand people. Johnny surrounded himself with people for whom he was a cash cow, and this eventually led him to legal proceedings, costly payoffs, and theft of his property. Even Christie's own sister, who ran one of Johnny's companies, took $7 million from the account. A considerable amount was also spent on maintaining an unprofitable horse farm, which was managed by the actor's mother. What can we say? The relatives turned out to be not entirely reliable partners. But that's not all the problems he faced. The actor's wealth managers, the management group, robbed their client for a huge amount. Johnny sued them, asking for $25 million, and accused them of cheating. In his words, he trusted his stewards so much that he never checked the papers brought for signature. And this is also a very important mistake in doing business. Trust without control. The company filed a counterclaim accusing the actor of squandering expensive wines, travel, gifts, etc. Now he has to pay for the services of expensive lawyers and compensation, such as his ex-wife Amber Heard. When she filed a lawsuit accusing Depp of physical abuse, he did not fight, but simply paid $7 million in compensation and signed a non-disclosure document about his life with Amber. Number 3. After the scandal surrounding the beating of Heard, Johnny became toxic to Hollywood. Now he's been filming less and less, and pictures for filming became less and less profitable. Neither Warner Brothers nor Disney wanted to deal with the actor anymore. His bad reputation threatened the failure of movies at the box office. Viewers don't want to see actors lose their human form. Children tend to imitate actors and adults to be equal to them. But even before the divorce, starting in 2011, Depp had already worked in movies that had no success. Mordecai, Tusk, Into the Woods, Lucky Them. In comparison with Pirates of the Caribbean, these are just low-end projects. And all because he was less and less invited to worthwhile projects due to problematic behavior. His love of drugs and alcohol significantly influenced his memory. It became more and more difficult to play with dignity and memorize a text. Already on the set of Pirates, Johnny used an earpiece with which an assistant dictated phrases for the role. It was this moment in his career that created the third reason for bankruptcy: lack of discipline and self-destructive actions, as a result of which he lost his reputation as an actor of the first magnitude. In fact, Johnny has lost his main asset, himself. Now he cannot make millions by acting in movies, like he could before. Number 4. In conclusion of the story of Johnny Depp's bankruptcy, let us take note the last mistake he began to make as a child. The actor has been drinking since he was 12 years old. It was then that his beloved grandfather died, and he has been using drugs regularly since the age of 15. His parents' divorce, his mother's drug addiction, and a desire to alleviate his emotional problems led him to addiction. Rolling Stone journalist Roderick, who spent 3 days with Depp in his mansion, wrote that now the actor rarely leaves the house, lives alone, and constantly drinks. Indeed, it is very difficult to be left without the usual sums, without family support, and without having high-quality projects. Johnny himself considers gullibility to people to be the main reason for all his financial troubles. Well, the ability to personally control your finances, choose the right environment, and give up addictions. But it seems that Johnny is still not able to pull himself together. We hope that someday he will come out to shine again, and delight the audience. And we, looking at the sad story of this famous actor, can learn how not to act. What lessons have you learned from the story of Johnny Depp? Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe to our channel for even more instructive stories. Thank you for your attention, and see you soon.
None of us, especially me, wouldn't be standing up here if it weren't for you tonight. So thank you, and give them hell, Betty Sue.